Astra Travelers, welcome to Tales of Tevat.
At Astra Travelers, and welcome to a very special night here at Angel Share with Tales of Tavat. We're here with a very special someone, the one, the only, Beth Curry, the voice of Jilonin in Tavat.
Are you feeling crafty? Want to chisel your way into other people's fates? Well, skate on over to our website, talesoftovat.com, where each episode has its own IMDb page filled with visuals pertaining to the lore discussed, starring Tiff.
Starring me. While you're on our site, make sure that you check out our past seasons and special episodes. We also include artist spotlights for every episode, including this one of some great fan art of Jilonin.
And finally, travelers can feel free to email us at talesoftavatpod@gmail.com to let Albedo and us know what you thought about this week's interview, what interviews and topics you'd like to see in the future. That being said, we're gonna hop into it. Beth, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for coming
Yeah.
joining.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so exciting.
Now, we know you mostly as Jilonin in Natlan and Genshin, but we also know Beth from roles such as Betty in Zenless Zone Zero, Miss Hendricks in Disney's Pretty Freaking Scary, 911 Lone Star, Superstar, Glow, and so much more. What's it like to, be out there acting and joining the Genshin Impact world?
Oh my God. Genshin's been so much fun and totally unexpected too, because going into it, I didn't know much about it and the world and the fans. And I remember it's so funny when I booked it, first of all, when I auditioned for it, they had code names back then, so I didn't
Mm.
really know what I was auditioning for. But now I think they list, I've seen auditions since and I've auditioned for it, which I think is weird. I'm like, can I play another? Are there people who play multiple characters?
There are. Yeah, you can.
Mostly NPCs, but there's two who do voiced characters, like bigger named characters.
Sky's the limit then. All right. Yeah. So anyway, so it was a code name. And I remember I booked it. We were on a vacation. We were in Montreal. And they're like, oh, you booked this role, but they just want to make sure that you're okay with it. And I was like, why? And they were like, well, just the image of it. I was like, wait, what? Okay. And then they sent me pictures of her. And I was like, oh, she's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I be okay with this? I was like Daisy Dukes and I'm on board. And then I thought it was because I didn't know the Genshin world. So when I went for just doing the trailer, I think I
Mhm.
thought it would be edgy and these games nowadays are edgy. And they're like, oh no, Genshin's not like that. It was so refreshing to just
Mhm.
be in a game that wasn't like cuss, cuss, cuss word.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I audition for those, like my so I audition in a closet sometimes.
Mhm.
And my husband will come in the house for some of these games are so crazy that
Mhm.
it's just I look like a woman with a serious anger problem in the closet just yelling. My husband's like, oh my God, it must be one of those other games. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, sorry. It's definitely weird. But when I did my first session, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And the whole Genshin community is amazing and bonkers. And I love how perceptive they are in every detail. And just the fans are what make the game, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're intense for sure.
Yeah.
Like, did you
Yeah.
did you know that you're a lesbian icon?
Yes. I mean, I do live in West Hollywood, so come on now. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of Shilonen, Mawika shippers.
Yes, Katiana and I. So we've been chatting, and we eventually want to do conventions together. And she's amazing.
That's gonna fuel the theories and the fanfic so much if the two.
Lesbian
I
minds
would
are
love to be
exploding.
Yeah.
a lesbian icon. Are you kidding me? That'd be I could just be done. I could be done after that. That's the best. That's the best.
Were you and Tatiana friends before Genshin, or did the game kind of bring you guys together?
The game brought us together. It's so funny because we would pass in the night at the not in the night. It sounds like we record at 1 a.m. No, we would like be at different times, and I would come to the studio and I'd be like, wow, the mic is really high. And they're like, oh, Katiana was here. And she's like really tall. And so then like a couple times we passed, and then I reached out to her on Instagram and we were like, oh, this is so great to like, and then we like talked on the phone, and we were talking about conventions and how fun that would be. And yeah, so she's amazing. She's so great. Her
Love
voice is like
that.
butter too. I love listening to her.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say it's the same about you. I never liked like Geo characters and stuff, and
Wow.
I know.
Oh,
But Jalonen became like she's in my party all the time. I love
okay.
everything about her, and I absolutely adore your voice.
Oh,
It's so
thank you
smooth
so
and
much.
silky.
You're
I
really good.
love it.
I don't know about Silky.
It fits her perfectly.
Well, I said on another interview about the hate thing. Did you hear about the hate thing
No.
when the trailer first came out?
I did not.
Okay, this is like the funniest thing. When the trailer first came out, there was this like video where it was like, actor receives unfair hate. And I was like, wait, what? And my headshot like bloops up. And I'm like, wait, that's me. And I guess because the trailer, because she's like waking up and she's like all like nappy and whatever,
Mhm.
just from sleepy. She's
Mhm.
a bit of a narcoleptic, which I love.
Mhm.
But they were like, I guess they were like, oh, her voice sounds like weird and gravelly, or like so. That was the
Ah.
start of this whole journey. I was like, oh shit, buckle in.
Oh no.
You're
Yeah, no,
like,
I had no idea. Like I think of you as like a fan favorite.
Oh my God, that's nice. I'll take that. Lesbian icon fan favorite. I could be
Yes.
done. This is like the best thing that's happened to me all year. Come on now.
I think sometimes with the community, they can be just off-put by anything new.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
true.
think like with the strike and everything, there's just anger everywhere.
I understand. I mean, there was a couple times where like there would be, I remember I'd be voicing to some things and there would be like weird filler stuff, right? Where it wasn't like voiced and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this strike was a little strange. Those were strange times, but I'm glad that we have like gotten back to work and everything is hunky dory. But yeah, I love Shilonen. But every time I say Shilonen, I'd go, my Shilonen.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Speaking of the strike though, do you actually have to go back and read anything that was previous, or they're just like, here you go, have at it?
No, I mean, we did a lot right before it, knowing the strike was going to happen.
Okay.
And then we had the break, and then we just like a lot of sessions right after, just
Mhm.
catching up. So they were actually able to not lose any time, weirdly. They're
Oh, that's
fast.
cool.
Now, when you auditioned, like when you got the part, did they tell you like are you locked into a certain number of years?
No, you wish. I mean, I would be like, you're doing this till you're 75. I'm like, great. No, they just kind of, I mean, it was a new world to me. So they said, usually you are used for like a year and then we might bring your character back,
Mhm.
in different lands and whatever. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, just speaking as a player of the game, most of the voice actors do come back, even if it's just like a line or two. Like they will come back the next year and then the year after and the year after. So
yes, I did do a little bit for something coming up, I think.
Ooh.
Mhm. It's nice too that they've expanded where like characters actually leave the areas they're from too. So from a player standpoint, it is fun to see like your characters like show up like where they're not supposed to be.
I mean, everybody needs some tunes. They need the DJ in the house. Have rollerblades, we'll travel.
So I know you mentioned the auditioning process a little bit and having the code names and everything. How did you first hear about the role? I know you said you weren't really familiar with Teyvat and the Genshin universe at the time. How did something like this end up, on your desk?
And most of the time I don't know what it's for because there are all these like, code names. But then you kind of understand what the code names are. And then you're like, oh, that's for this, for that. So it was just one of many. I mean,
Right.
probably in a day, I do between like 5 to 10 auditions a day.
Wow.
It can be more sometimes because there will be multiple characters, but I love it. It's so fun.
Are those live or do you pre-record the auditions?
You pre-record the auditions. Oh, I
Okay.
can never do live. I would chunk it up so bad. I have to edit it, and no, it's all like recorded.
I love that.
Another part that's probably a little hard to do live is that your character is in an area that has the names that have every letter in the alphabet.
Yeah.
They're so long and so
Oh.
hard to say. Like we make up our own even for the smaller names. So most of the stuff there, it's like I'm like this word. It's the ish, the ish guy.
Yes, yes. So basically, when you're doing a session, you're in the booth, and then you have like an engineer next to you, and she's actually Brielle is her name. She is a fan of she plays this game. I think she does Zenless Zone Zero too.
Oh, she's a fan. I love it.
Yeah, so she is because she loved it because she's like, oh, I get to know, like, she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And we'll like have a break, and she's like, ooh, that's big. And I was like, yeah. It's fun. And then you have the director, Chris. There's multiple directors, but he's really good. And he would, encourage because they really like Genshin likes word for word pretty much. You kind of can't go off, but I would add a few little things here or there or make it a little more conversational, I guess. So
Yeah.
they've been really collaborative about that process. And then there's a guy or girl who's remote who is helping with the script. So,
Mhm.
like, if they rewrite a line and so he would have to write out the names, like, in just not even phonetically, but just butchered so that I could get it right. Just for a kindergartner. And then I could basically say it because there was one name. Oh my Lord. And he goes, I forget. I was racking my brain trying to remember the name, but he's like, it's okay. The person before you, we spent half an hour trying to get this name right. And it was so long. So yeah, the names definitely trip me up. And every time Sumeru, I always think of Subaru.
Sumeru, yeah.
Yeah.
Sumeru. See, I messed it up anyway.
But I feel like people
Really?
say it both ways. Like
Mhm.
we're always hearing it both ways.
It's your lesbian icon
I
like
was just
kicking
gonna say
in
that. I
when
know.
you're thinking of Subaru.
Sumeru.
Oh, that's so good.
I love that.
Tiff has to literally do the same thing for me before we record an episode. She'd be like, Amanda, these are your pronunciations this week. Like, be prepared.
Yes.
And the name you're probably thinking of is Jacodal. That is what I'm going for.
Oh.
I hate reading that name. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Total. Have I ever had to say that name?
I don't know, but it's terrible. I've said it too many times.
Yeah.
There's one name that's like a land or something with an L, or like it's all the emphasis on weird. I can't remember.
Yeah, because it's a lot of times it's like an X and an L and an apostrophe and then like CHA something.
Just clicking and humming, and I don't know.
Like I always say, I guess it's Jablanque. I don't even know if that's actually the
Yeah.
because I always like make it sound like it's a Blake at the end.
Chablanque, Chablanque? It sounds like a wine.
Yeah.
It sounds like would you like an 86 Chablanque?
I'm just imagining the dragon with the glass of wine now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That'd be very funny.
I like it.
And so you told us a little bit about the recording process. You're recording alone, we presume, since you're passing by Tatiana in the middle of the night and
Yes, all shalom. No, all alone. Yes.
all shalom. So I know we've talked a lot about Genshin, but you are in, as we mentioned earlier, so many other things. Do you have a role that's been your favorite? I know it's hard to pick.
Let's see. I mean, I loved I love the Disney show because it feels so. I come from a Broadway background. I did Legally Blonde on Broadway, the original cast, and did Young Frankenstein. And so I love theater, and doing the multicam, Pretty Freaking Scary, felt like that because it was like, you have multiple cameras and it's very big. And so that was really super fun. I also love playing. Okay, so basically my husband has said that I've played glam trash when I was in my when I was younger, and that was true. And then I was on Glow, and I had to make out with this motorcycle dude multiple times, and we got married in Vegas, whatever, and just be trashy. That was the height of my trashy career, I think. And my face was rubbed raw from making out
Stubble.
with him. Yes. And they couldn't put makeup on your face in between. So when you'd start the front of the scene before you make out, my face was red from having made out. I'm like, oh, I look like shit the entire. And then I loved playing in Heart of Dixie. I played this country singer, which was really fun. Let's see, Superstore. I loved playing the inappropriate. I was an inappropriate, oh, what was she? A spokesperson, but she was
Okay.
saying all, she would have been canceled. She was the worst. And recently I loved doing Paradise. That was really cool. Did you see that show on Hulu?
I haven't.
Sterling K. Brown. It's kind of the end of the world show. And that
Oh, yeah.
was cool because it was such a huge scene, and they just created this underground world, and that was pretty badass. But I loved all the on camera stuff. I really loved voiceover. I did Brawl Stars too. Do you know that? Brawl Stars?
Yes, I do.
That's a game. I played this Belle, this she's country and wrong, and she's just she was fun to play. So yeah, I mean I love all the different, there's so many fun shows and things to dress up as.
Mhm.
I'm a TV nerd, and I think one of the best TV shows of all time is Hacks. And I know you were on there. Were you playing a Deborah Vance impersonator, I believe?
No. So I was
No.
in the opening of what season was that? Not this last season, but the season before, I
Season
think.
4, maybe?
Yes. So this was the very opening episode. So there was a drone in the sky, and then it comes around Vegas, and it goes into the casino, and you follow what you think is Deborah Vance, and
Mhm.
then turns around and it's a drag queen.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Okay, so
Yes.
I was in that scene, and I was a stage manager, and I'm oh, welcome. Oh my God, I'm such a huge fan, all this stuff. And just walk her in, and then turns around and it's drag queen. So we filmed in Caesars. We started at midnight, I think. And basically, it was a long shot. And
Mhm.
the writers, they're all so amazing. I think it was Jen directing that one. And she basically was there was one line. I had one line, but then they were no, just fill it. So then I just came up with stuff and whatever, because I had to walk and talk with the quote unquote Deborah Vance. So I just created stuff. But she was okay, so this is a really long shot. So I was don't fuck it up. She's yeah, don't fuck it up. It was such a long shot that they had to fly the drone around the front of the building, and then there was a guy who caught the drone outside and walked it through the
Oh,
casino
wow.
into so it was a really long continuous shot. So if we got fucked up, then you're resetting takes so long.
Right.
And they had for a big show, I was why isn't there security here? So we were having drunk people stumble onto the floor and be what's going on here? I'm
Oh,
you
no.
need to move away, because I was oh my God, they're gonna mess up the shot. And we had a bunch of extras, but you had these randos just coming in right where the drone was gonna be. So, and I had a clipboard and a headset because I was supposed to be a stage manager. So I looked official. So I was you need to leave.
You're stage managing the drunk people. I love that.
Oh my God. It was bananas, but we ended at I think 5 a.m. or something. And
Wow.
I'm a huge fan of that show too. It is so good. So it's amazing to be on shows that you love, and then to see that everyone involved in that show is actually incredible and talented, and they play music. They don't take themselves so seriously. They at a Video Village where they watch
Mhm.
the playback, they're
Mhm.
pumping tunes. They're really loose, which I loved, which you can tell that they're just kind of trusting and flowing, and
Oh, that's
it's a
awesome.
great show.
Yeah. It does seem like there's a joy on that show.
I cannot imagine the stress though of having to deal with the unexpected drunk extras. I'd be like, do you know we have one shot? This is
Yeah.
one shot,
Yeah.
guys.
No. Luckily, I can turn it on and be like, I can like move when I want to. But yeah, it was hurting the drunkies.
You mentioned earlier that you started on Broadway. What was that experience like?
Yeah, Broadway is no joke. I mean, that is 8 shows a week. And
Yeah.
it's funny because you go, well, you're just working at night. So how hard can that be? But your day is like planned around it. Like, okay, you go to the gym, you have to make sure you're hydrated, you have to make sure you're not injured. It's a lot. That schedule is intense, but I loved it. The Broadway community is like no other. I mean, I love New York too. Just, you set out to go do your laundry like on a day off, and then at 10 a.m., you run into your friend. You're like, oh, hey. And they're like, oh, I'm meeting up with this person. You're like, okay, I'll bring my laundry and have lunch with you all. And then, like, you're coming home at 11 p.m. with your laundry. You're like, what just happened? It's the magic of that community.
Very New York. Yeah.
Very New York. So fun.
You basically got stolen.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think I'm writing more like, so I've turned into more of a recluse. Like, that's why voiceover is really good for me. I'm happy there in my like pajamas and slippers doing voiceover rather than being on a big stage, like belting out a song for 1,200 people. I don't know if I could do it now. I think I would shit my pants.
Do you have a song that was your favorite to do on stage?
I did love, it was from Young Frankenstein, where I played the Madeline Kahn role, and she's talking about deep love, but it's with the monster. So this is when she's finally like had sex with the monster, and he's incredibly well endowed, and so she's talking about deep love. So that was, I mean, it's Mel Brooks. Come on, he's the master. So that was really fun because you would have like the slow, as the audience, when you'd be singing about deep love, they'd be like, oh, then they catch on, and then it's like, that was really fun.
And now I know you just mentioned that you've been writing a lot more. So you kind of took the jump, it seems, from Broadway to acting, and then you've gotten into writing and directing. What has that transition been like for your life, besides, being a little bit more of a pajama at home type of gal?
Yeah, I know. I never go outside, basically. I have torn hip problems from sitting too much. Like, this is like, sitting is people. Everyone listening, lesbians, come on. Is the new smoking. Like, we do need to get up and like not sit so much. So
It's hard after the pandemic. It's hard.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to get up. And I know that sounds like stupid, but like every hour it's hard to get up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we are just like, this is, yeah.
Yeah, my watch is always yelling at me. It's like,
Yeah,
get
me
up.
too.
I'm sorry.
I know I do the Aura ring, and it's always like, okay, time to get up. I'm like, time to fuck off. But so writing actually came about when I was doing Young Frankenstein, because in that role that I played, I would come on in the first act and then I'd have an hour off stage. And so I started like, I would fall asleep. I would do P90X. I was doing everything. And then I found writing, and I was like, well, this is fun. And I was into Curb Your Enthusiasm at the time. So I just sort of wrote a pilot using I didn't know what I was doing, the structure of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I was like, oh, this is great. I had a reading with the cast. I was like, ooh, I really like this. And so that's where it started. And when I got back to LA after the tour, I joined a writer's group, and then I just started writing voraciously. So I've written probably about 20 screenplays. And
Wow.
in 2020, I got this special honor called the Nickel Fellowship. It's sponsored by the Oscars. And it was like 7,800 people applied and only 5 of us won, which was like really helpful and put me on the map a little bit more. So I've had, things very, very close. I have one script with Kate Mara, Tony Shalhoub, and Jackie Weaver attached, which was supposed to shoot the beginning of this year, but then fell out, and it's still maybe going to shoot again. So it's a bit of a wild card. I'm a puzzle person. I love games, and screenwriting kind of feels like a puzzle at times, just kind of figuring out how things fit together. And I just love flawed characters. I love an underdog. And so I really write that. And I love having stories that maybe help you understand the other side a little better.
Hmm.
Historically, I've written indies and like full of heart and humor, a little edgy, a little body, but with a good story. And now I'm, because the industry's changing, now I'm writing horror and thriller, which is definitely different, but still also fun.
What makes horror fun to write?
I'm a scaredy cat, so I hate scary movies. I hate anything kind of bloody, or my brain is I'm sort of a hypochondriac. Like, I'm really good at telling stories,
Mm.
both on the page and in my head. And so I feel like scary stuff has always been kind of, I couldn't do it. But I've just embraced it. And this recent one that I wrote for my manager, well, I wrote like a horror thriller, and he's like, wait, this is really good. And I was like, oh shit, I have another idea. He's like, yes, write that. And so this one is like over the top. It's kind of big on a cruise ship, and it's kind of bananas. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it's been really fun.
Speaking of hypochondriac and
Yes.
maladies of the mind, you wrote and directed a short film called Lemon,
Which is your winner.
which
Woo!
involves agoraphobia. So tell us all about that.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good connection. So that's the script that I won the Nickel Fellowship for,
Mhm.
called Lemon. And it's about a 7-year-old little girl named Lemon whose mom is agoraphobic, and she's never been outside in like her whole life. And so her mom dies. And so her mom has basically told Lemon that if you go outside, they will steal your soul. So she's like, oh shit, I'm never going outside. So when the mom dies, we see Lemon surviving. Eventually, she runs out of food, and then she braves the outdoors to go outside. That's where the short ends. But in the actual movie, she finds her way into this man's apartment, and he has this door open. You know when you like dump your trash and you like flip your lock to keep your door open?
Yeah.
So she like finds her way inside in his closet, and she lives in there for 2 days, and he has no idea she's in there. And she sort of observes him, kind of falls for him. He has like fluffy hair, so she calls him Fluffy Head. And he just went through a loss. Like, his wife just died tragically. So basically, it's a story about two people who need each other, find each other. It's really a heartwarming story. So I filmed the short of it recently this last year. And so that's been a fun process of doing film festivals and whatnot, and having this proof of concept for the feature version of it. So I directed and produced that, which was, oh, so fun. So expensive, but so fun.
Now, is that out anywhere where anybody could see it?
It's not yet because we're still doing festivals, but I
Okay.
will, after this next festival we're doing, I will put it online, because I
Yes.
would love to share it, because it's real fun.
Yeah, I love the trailer. It looks so good.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you. And it is about hypochondria, because I wrote it. Sometimes I use my characters to get through my own issues with my writing, which is what makes me like show up and come to the page,
Mhm.
to write, is to figure out my own bullshit. So I was really dealing with hypochondria at the time. And I was like, I want to do a story of a girl who is conditioned to fear the worst, who gets over that. So really, it's selfishly my own journey of like, okay, Lemon is sort of like trained to fear the unknown and believe the worst. And then she goes out in the world and understands that she doesn't have to fear, and she can trust and love. So
Right.
that's kind of what that was about.
Also very pandemic centric in a way. Like I
Yeah.
love that
Mhm.
sort of a story that keeps coming up.
Yeah. And it's weird because I wrote it before the pandemic.
Hmm.
In like 2018, I think I wrote it.
Oh
Are you
wow.
telling us
Yeah.
you can see the future?
I know. Yes. Oh, okay. It looks good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. We're in tricky times, but I think it's,
Please tell me like 5 years down the road we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I think 5 years down the road we're gonna be great. Yes.
You heard it here first.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
We're all going to
Shilonen.
be driving on rainbows and Subarus.
Yeah.
Yes. Rollerblading,
Yeah.
jamming out. That's the one thing. I wish that I wish that I did I wish that I was rapping. There was like, I was like, oh, do I get to do that? They're like, no, we already have this. I'm like, okay.
Like, what? That's not fair.
I know. But it was cool. I was like, that's some good beats.
And it would make sense for your character to do it more so than like little
Hu Tao?
ghost girl. Yeah.
Hu Tao, when Hu
Yeah.
Tao raps, I need to like turn the game off.
Oh no.
I love Hu Tao. I have so much respect for the Hu Tao voice actor. But when they started rapping, I was like, I gotta go.
It was the script. It was the script.
It was
Yeah.
scripted. Yeah.
Yeah, it was-
Rihanna, there's no hate, man. It's not your fault. I just
Oh.
Hu Tao's not meant to rap, man.
That's okay. You know, we all have to try things out, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Just to go back to writing, you know, I write, not like you do. I write fan fiction. But
Oh yeah.
I know for me, childhood dream was totally being a writer, and you're out there doing it. Do you have any advice for people who maybe are afraid to take that step or submit their first piece?
Yes, I do indeed. So I remember it because backstage at Young Frankenstein, when I was on the floor of my dressing room with a journal, like an empty journal, where I was like, I want to write a sitcom. I wrote like a page down, and then I was like, I had that voice in my head, which was like, this is crap, give up, don't do this, what are you doing? And then I had a very clear feeling of like, push through, like, keep going. And I think, like, for any writer or for anyone endeavoring anything that is out of your comfort zone, just keep going, because you'll know in time if it's right for you. But in the very beginning, everyone has a voice that needs to be heard. And that's the thing that I think is really important too, is authenticity. Don't try to be someone else. Like, your special sauce is what is needed in this world. So don't try to make it anything different. And every time like I write something and I'm like, ooh, I want to take that out, most times people will like be like, oh, I like that part. You know, so the thing that you're like, oh, that's maybe too much, or oh, that's maybe too honest or too out there, like, leave that shit in, because that's where it's at. That's what I would say.
You wrote it for a reason, right?
Yeah. So I would say just keep going. Like, don't listen to that voice that says stop. Like, I mean, okay, after maybe if you're, I don't know, 30 years down the line and nothing's really happening and you've given it your all, then maybe you can consider something else.
Right. Be practical a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure
yeah.
you're eating.
Make sure you're eating. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I would love to hear Jalon sing, though, in the game is because you sing in your band Tatsi, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. I was listening to a couple of the songs and I dig it so much.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, it has such a clear like sound. Like, it's very
Mhm.
like 20s ragtime.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Tatsi came about because I was working with my co-writer, Brett Boyette, and we were writing songs after Broadway, when I moved back to LA. We were writing songs for film and TV, and we had all these songs amassed together. The first one we wrote was called Dope on a Rope. And then we were like, oh, this is kind of like fun and vibey. And so we kept writing songs like that. And then we had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 songs. And then we were like, maybe we should play out. And then I love branding. I love costumes. This is why I would love to do like conventions for
Mhm.
Shilonen, because I would dress the fuck up. And
Yeah.
I would just inappropriately wear Daisy Dukes and the whole 9 yards.
Rollerblades. Yeah.
Yes. I would eat shit because I would, yeah. But
You'd be falling everywhere.
yes. They're like, oh, who invited her? But I love dressing up. So I was like, we need to brand this. And so came up with kind of like the concept of the look of what Totsi looked like and made all the costumes and then put it together. We had our first performance and people were like very receptive to it. And then eventually we went on the road with Brian Setzer Orchestra. We opened
Oh.
for him. I used to be a backup singer for him.
Oh,
And so we
wow.
opened for him and we got like a great following from that. We've had so many fans and I haven't done it in a long time because it's like hooker boots. It's very, you know what? Look it's very Genshin. It would be very Genshin. Let's be honest.
There you go. We should have a collab.
Yes. Oh my God. Shilonen and Totsi.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. She'd remix a song for Totsi maybe, but
Yeah.
yeah, so it was like hooker boots, a tutu, a corset, like a bob wig. So nowadays I'm like, I'm a little old for that. Like I think I threw the hooker boots out. So
No.
but we have a lot of music, but we still, there's still some talk about doing more music, but for now we haven't really done much Totsi stuff, but I love it. I know it's a fun sound.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
is a really, really fun cinematic sort of 20s throwback sound.
Now, I know we brought it up a few times. Do you DJ or rollerblade? I'm just curious.
No, I don't DJ. But I have mad respect for people who do DJ.
Mm.
One of my favorite artists is Ryx. Have you ever heard of this guy? Ryx.
No.
He's an incredible musician, singer, just artist, but he DJs in that world. It happens way too late. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
like remming by that point. Like I can't be a DJ because I can't stay up. So no, I don't DJ. Rollerblade, roller skate. I can't do tricks though. I can go backwards, but
Oh.
yeah, beyond that, I used to be able to do the splits. Remember, like, did you ever do limbo? Where they had like the limbo
Yeah.
bar and you had to go under it?
Mhm.
I could like go down in the splits when I was like
Ooh.
younger.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's very Shilonen.
Very Shilonen. Now hip problems. Yeah.
Maybe
She-
we can start like a brunch band, a brunch DJ.
Oh
band.
my God. Yes, that would be good. But like
Yeah.
in comfy clothes,
Yes,
pajamas.
yeah, PJs.
It's like 11 to
Mhm.
2 only.
Yeah.
Yes. On not rollerblades, but segways or something.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Oh, you're already doing better than me because I can't rollerblade or ice skate or anything that doesn't involve feet flat on ground.
Same.
Yeah.
I can't even walk that well,
Yeah.
honestly, when it comes down to it.
Oh,
I'm
I get it.
klutziest person in the world.
I mean, skiing, I skied with my husband for the first time, like, I don't know, gosh, when I was like newly in the family. And so when you like, when you're with somebody new and you're like, oh, yeah, I can do that. I'll try that. And I ate shit so bad that they had to like toboggan me down the hill.
Oh no.
So like, then I was like, you know what? You guys ski. I'm going to be in the lodge riding. And
Yeah.
it's worked out perfectly.
I was just gonna say, have you gone back to it? Because I think I would have been like hiding the rest of the trip.
I think I skied one time after that, and then I was like, you know what? I'm good. This is not gonna end well for me, so I'm just gonna be in the lodge with a hot toddy.
I mean, it's kind of perfect. Like, no one's gonna ask you to do it again, Like, you
Yeah.
can just hang out, be like, you know what? I think I proved that that's not for me, so I'm gonna be over here.
Yes. I point to my shin sticking out of my skin, and I go, "See, there
Oh
we go.
my God.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding."
You're like, this is actually a traumatic experience for me, guys. Like,
Yeah. No sports for me.
oh, I don't blame you. Now, I have a biased question. So I'm a huge fan of the 911 universe. And I know
Okay.
you were in Lone Star. What was that experience like?
Well, I played an acupuncturist who hid fentanyl in her wall.
Oh.
So that was fun. And if you like those shows, okay, so what's funny about those shows is you don't realize, like as an actor, I was in a scene where like full SWAT team, like busting and like hands in the air, like guns surrounding you. The dog is there, and you don't realize, like, your system doesn't realize that it's fake.
Oh no.
So, like, after doing it so many times, you actually are like, I am so tired. You like burn through your adrenals in one day from
Right.
just doing it over and over again. But it was so much fun just to be in that world. I mean, Ryan Murphy is like the best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that what do you like about 911? Tell me.
What don't I like about
Buck and Eddie.
Yeah.
yes, I'm very much mostly into the original. I have watched some of Lone Star. I'm starting to watch the new Nashville, but I'm a big fan of the family unit, not just Buck and Eddie from
Okay.
the original show. I very much connect with the character of Buck on like personal levels. And so getting to see a character that I relate to so much out and trying their best, god damn it. Maybe not always succeeding, but trying their best is so heartwarming for me. And I just think that I know everything's fake, you know, I know none of this would work in real life. I know that if I showed it to a firefighter, they would laugh in my face. But there's just something about the personal moments in it that are so beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Amanda like in the role that you did, Beth, and when everyone breaks into the apartment or whatever, like she would just be grinning and like looking around, like, yes, it's happening, it's happening.
And
You're
then
like,
Buck and Eddie
yes.
don't walk in. I'm like, where are they? Who did you send?
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was a really fun one. That world is it's fun because you're on a lot too. And there is
Right.
it's okay. I are any of you like musical theater? I'm not like
Yes.
I like musical
Mhm.
theater, but I'm not a musical theater buff. But okay, who do you guys know Sunset Boulevard?
Yeah.
That musical?
Mhm.
Okay, what's the song? Oh, As If We Never Say Goodbye, where she's like, dun, 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 dun. Like,
Yes.
you know, every time I go on a lot, I feel that it's like morning and you feel like that, like whimsy of just being like, oh, it's happening. So, yeah, I mean, as an actor, it feels like people go, oh, wow, you're working so much. And I'm like, I've worked in the past year like 4 days. But it seems like you work all the time because you're on things and then, or like a commercial, people see it all the time. They're like, oh, you're just working a lot. And you're like, it's 4 days of work and then mostly not.
Right, right.
It's an interesting life for sure. You get rejected like 99% of the time, which, you know, some of my friends who are just in like real jobs, they're like, I could never do that.
Yeah, I was just
Mhm.
gonna ask, how do you deal with that on a regular basis? Because I am the person, not as an actor, who would be dying, you know, every time. I have a hard time with with rejection personally.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably a little bit on the spectrum. And I just like, I'm always surprised when I get a job because, you know, it's just the constant thing of working on your worth and all that. So I love doing it, but I don't have, I mean, sometimes I have expectations. Sometimes, like, oh, I nailed that. And then that's the thing that they're like crickets. And then the thing that you're like, oh, I totally chunked that up. They're like, you got it. You're like, wait, what? But the rejection is hard. And I would say, like, especially for writing, you know, getting so close to something and then having it just like fall apart, that's
Yeah.
heartbreaking. But at the end of the day, like, I can't do anything else. I have no other skills. So, and B, I love it. Like, I just love being in different characters and finding what makes them tick and telling stories and bringing joy to people. Or I just love the collaborative nature of creating things.
Yeah.
Small scale, big scale, like, you know, the Genshin universe, it's like a community of people who bonded over these characters and these stories. And there's something to that.
Mhm.
You know, it brings people together, it brings warmth, it inspires people to do better, to be better. So I don't know, there's something, I could never do anything else.
I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of the Genshin community. I mean, what you're describing is obviously like you're an artist. Like you have to make art.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Genshin fans that are true artists. Like if you just look up Genshin
Yeah.
on social media, it's like post after post of people making, like drawing, painting, like making digital art. Like so much art is like involved in the community.
The art is incredible. I have looked at that. And I feel like that's a coveted skill. I cannot draw. And I am just baffled at people who can. One of my like go-to, like I love watching people, like my videos I watch are people decorating cakes,
Oh,
Yes.
me too.
frosting cakes,
Mhm.
or there's this guy who just freehand stuff. And I'm like, how does your brain work in that
Yeah.
way that you can just imagine this would look like that? Like, I am so in awe of artists.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. Like, I think, of course, I think the Genshin community, because Genshin is in itself, it's so beautiful. Like, when
Mhm.
we sometimes record some of the promos, we're doing it to, it's kind of rough. You see, sort of like just really base sketches of what you're doing. And then when you see the final product, I'm like, holy crap,
Mhm.
they're just incredible. So it's not a surprise that like people are drawn to Genshin because it's so beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, even to the cosplay and stuff, people are amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I really want to do conventions because I want to
Mhm.
see all of that.
Yeah.
That would be so fun and incredible to see.
I'm pretty sure I saw Jalonen at New York Comic Con this year too. So you would have run into
Oh,
yourself.
Oh.
really?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, we would have slow-moed hug.
Yeah.
Ran to each other and just hugged. Oh my God, I would love to see what that looked like.
You know, what really makes you excited about the cons is the idea of meeting the fans, seeing the cosplay, seeing the art, is a little bit of everything.
Yes, all of it. I think meeting the fans, because anytime I have any interaction with people, it's always so fun and nice, and they always like point out something different. I don't know. I think it would just be meeting the fans and seeing their art and the costumes. I think it's like a whole world that I had no idea existed. So when I had my first session, they're like, "Oh, well, you have to do conventions." I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, like there are conventions." I was like, "I want to do that." Like that sounds like so much fun, but it's hard to get into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It can be expensive.
Yeah, I've been trying. I have a meeting tomorrow with my agent to try to like figure out how to get in with them. But I think it would be so fun. And I would dress the fuck up. I would. I would get some more hooker boots and like bring that shit out. I'd be the old lady in hooker boots.
Well, to all of the travelers listening, please
Yeah.
know you can go and request to all your local
Yes.
conventions
Yeah.
guests. So
Sound off.
Please, please do. I would love that. Yes, please.
luckily conventions are about us, you know, the
Yeah.
fans, and we can put in those requests, guys. So if you want to meet Beth and Katiana and your other favorite VAs, like email them. They've got little forums usually on the bigger conventions. The smaller ones have emails. I've emailed in before. I'm guilty of wanting to meet people.
Nice.
So definitely check that out, travelers. If you can't find it, DM us.
And Katiana and I have like talked about that. We're like, what is it called when you're a package duo? It's like what is it called? You wear your package together. There's like a word for it.
A meetup. They call it a meetup at
A
Comic-Con.
meetup?
They'll be like,
Or a
oh, the Genshin meetup. And then they'll call you in. I did the K-pop Demon Hunter meetup personally.
Was it amazing?
Oh my God, they were so nice. And the little girl in front of me was just as a Saja boy. And she couldn't have been more than like 3 feet tall. And she was striking all the poses so well. I was like, honestly, I was so impressed by her.
That song is in my head forever. And just even mentioning it, now I'm going to be like, now it's like stuck in my head. It's great. I know. I was at my friend's house for Halloween this year because we don't really have trick-or-treaters in West Hollywood. I wish. We have a different kind of party on Santa Monica Boulevard, which is amazing.
A different kind of candy.
Yeah, it's a different kind of candy. Have you ever been to the West Hollywood parade?
No, I haven't. I would love to.
I was watching some of it this year.
It is like hundreds of thousands of people, and it is anything goes. I mean, like drag queens on stilts, like people are dressed like it is art on crack. Like it is amazing. That's where my husband and I had one of our first dates, and it was so incredible. My shoe, I was actually wearing hooker boots. That should be my memoir, just hooker boots.
That's the title of this episode is Hooker Boots.
Lacing up my hooker boots. Yeah, we were down on the boulevard, and it's a long stretch. And at the end of the night, we'd made some poor choices. We're since retired from those, but we made some poor choices, and we were a little hammered. And my boot broke, and so I put on his dress shoe. So I had one of my hooker boots on, one of it like a man's dress shoe on, and we were like hobbling down the street with like street meat. I think like. It was a sight to be seen. But yeah, the Hollywood, that's a good one. But my point was K-pop Demon Hunters. I went to my friend's house for Halloween, and there were so many kids dressed up as it. And I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I just gotta tell you though, I think the fact that you made it through one of your first dates in one hooker boot and one dress shoe, it just was like the sign that the relationship was gonna last.
Yeah, wait, what was your husband like? Was he barefoot on one foot?
No, he was dressed up. Yeah, he was dressed up as in like a old 1920s director, you know? So there was this line of policemen who were like ready in riot gear because just for safety. And he was and he was like, "All right, boys, from the top, 5, 6, 7, 8." I'm like, we have video of it. So he was dressed up as a old Hollywood director, and we were just like a shit show. And then the street meet.
That sounds like a really fun time.
Yeah. Since then, now we're just like rummy cube and tea. You know, those days are behind us.
Are you a big Halloween fan? It seems like, with all the costumes and everything, you might be a big fan.
Yes, we love Halloween. We dress up every year. And under our bed is like, we have a very small apartment in West Hollywood, but under our bed are costumes throughout the year. So I love dressing up.
Do you have a favorite costume from the past or a dream costume for Halloween?
Okay, so one year he was Pablo Escobar.
Oh my God.
It's not, and I was cocaine. I was like in this like
that is so
white
great.
tutu with like white. It was like kind of Tootsie. It was during the Tootsie time. So I was like, oh, I'll be cocaine. So that was like a fun.
Oh my
Is this
God,
the cocaine to fentanyl route in 911 Lone Star? I'm like seeing the connection.
Oh. But it's so funny because I could not be the squarest. I'm like the squarest person who's never done drugs. Like I was dropped on my head enough as a kid. Like I don't need drugs. I'm like, I got enough. But yeah, I think that's my favorite costume. What about you? Favorite costumes? Go. Speed round.
Oh my God. I don't know. Oh my God. I'm so intimidated by the question.
I dressed up once as Joan Crawford in Mommy's Dearest and had even like walked around with a wire hanger. I had my hair in the pin curls. It was fantastic. I just loved yelling at people.
I haven't dressed up in a long time, but the one that people liked the most was I safety pinned a bunch of sponges and paper towels all over my body and went as self-absorbed.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Self-absorbed. That's hilarious. I love that. That's good. And did anyone get it off the bat or no, you had to explain it?
It was like one of those things where it's like, what is he? And then I would tell them, they would start laughing and they loved it. But yeah,
great.
I really love like ones that you don't have to explain. Like I love when people go all out.
Oh yeah.
And use like special effects and makeup and all that. Like I would never do that because I'm too lazy, but I love it when other people do.
Oh, me too. Then you got to come down to WeHo for Parade because your mind will be blown.
Yes.
So good.
That.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but the last 2 years I've gone as Evan Buckley. And from 911, just to prove a point, I will say.
Oh, you are like a super fan.
I know.
You really are.
It's embarrassing.
No, don't be embarrassed.
Do you want to be? Did you grow up with someone? Did someone like police officer? Nothing?
Nothing. I
No.
mean, my dad worked kind of as an emergency responder in a certain degree, but definitely, I love my father, but not in that echelon. He is not up that high. He worked on like a bridge and was like the like emergency patrol and stuff for a bridge and like, which is very honorable, but he was definitely not a firefighter.
Okay.
I don't know. It's something, again, personal connections to shows,
Passionate
man.
fandom, just like Genshin.
Passionate
Yeah.
fandom. Yes.
I just get obsessed. Like, it's like, oh, what is Amanda like hyperfixating on today? And there's room for like 3 categories usually at once. And so Genshin and 911 are 2 of them. The third one is a bounce right now.
Ooh.
Is
What's
what?
what's on the
Bounce?
menu right now?
Yeah,
What's
like
the third
bounces
one?
around. I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is. It's Love and
Oh,
Deep Space.
stop. Don't embarrass
Oh,
me
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
It's a game.
100%. I know so much about 911 and that game from listening to Fiends.
I just get so excited. I want to share.
Bounce? I don't know. I don't know what it is at all.
Oh, it's love.
Yeah,
and Deep
what is it? What is it,
Okay,
Amanda?
okay. Love and Deep Space is a game that most people think is a dating simulator, but
Oh, okay.
it's not. It is definitely part of it, but it's
Mhm.
not the whole thing. It's basically like a sci-fi story of it's like been 14 years since this like crazy alien attack happened on the planet, and people are kind of picking up the pieces, and there are these random monsters that come around and attack, and a group called the Hunters has emerged, and they're kind of like a government group. And so you play as a main character, you can name them and design them yourself, who was severely injured 14 years ago during the attack, but has kind of rose up through it and is now a hunter.
But then
Oh.
romance.
Yeah.
Yes. So you follow her story of trying to discover the truth of the attack while also meeting, right now there's 5 guys.
Wait, is your character in love with a first responder?
No, they can't. There's no first responders in the
Okay.
game, not yet.
Oh, okay.
My character's in love with an alien.
Oh, okay.
Is it love in deep space? Is that as I say it like a old person? Love
Yes.
and deep space?
Yes,
Okay.
it's shortened to lads
I
in the
see it.
community. It's
Lads.
great. Oh my God, beautiful art. The characters are all very different, even though they all look like they're just like different flavors of the same guy. I swear they're not. If you try it out and hate it, please don't tell me.
Oh, I will not ruin. I feel like the barrier of entry on these things is hard a little bit. No, or you just start. You just start.
I had a friend who was super into it that like basically forced me to download the app. And once
Oh
I
my God,
started
it's funny.
playing, I was like, oh, like I'm not very far in the storyline. So people who are like, oh, you got like 9 things wrong describing the game, I'm sorry. I haven't caught up in the Archon quest, so to speak, of Love and Deep Space.
But I feel like the short answer is like just try it,
Yeah,
because
just try it.
Genshin
Yeah,
is
exactly.
sort of like that too, where it's like people are sort of intimidated by the fandom sometimes because
Right.
they feel like they have to know so much before they
Yeah.
play it. But we all started playing it without really knowing. Like we've been playing since the early days of Genshin. So we just played this game that looked fun and was free and
Yes.
started playing it, and then we fell in love with it. So I think the short answer is just try it. If
Just try it. That's fun. I'm pretty addictive, so it might be a problem. Will get a problem?
Well, if you like it, let us know. We can add you as friends and we can share some of the resources with one another.
Ooh, okay, fantastic. I love it.
But on that note, Brandon was just talking about the Genshin community. I think we all just want to say thank you so much for being a part of Genshin. I know
Oh my
we talk about
gosh.
it on the show all the time, but like Genshin is such a lifesaver for some people, as silly as that might sound. And it took a lot of people out of the depression of the pandemic.
yeah.
It introduced people to friends. I know we all were like somewhat connected, but didn't really become friends until we were all playing Genshin together. And so the game means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. So thank you for being a part of it and being a part of the world.
Oh my God, it's my pleasure. And it's like I love being a part of a game that's, it's positive and it's not one of these games that's like really just like trying
Yeah.
to be shock value. And I
Mhm.
really like some of the storylines, I'm like, oh, that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
Or there are things in it, that are applicable to life.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I really have respect for it. And my God, my pleasure. It's so fun. And please, I will play
Yeah.
any character with Daisy Duke and hooker boots.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us too. It was really great.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Are there any special projects coming up that you want any travelers listening to know about? I know you're not doing conventions right now, but whether it be an event of some sort or a film to be looking out for, or an upcoming role you want to let people know about?
Well, I mean, I have coming up, I don't really have a ton, but I am in this game called Silver and Blood. I don't know if you've heard about that,
Ooh.
which is kind of fun. Vampires.
Ooh.
Yeah, I play Lamia. It's very high voiced, kind of. It's a fun game. It's dark. It's dark, but it's not edgy. So I'm gonna be in something edgy, but I can't say what that is.
Mm.
Okay, we
Ooh.
love secrets that are good though, so
Yeah, I when it comes out, which I think is 2026, then I can say what it is.
Mhm.
okay.
And then trying to keep, just trying to get more, be a part of more worlds because it's so fun. Yeah, I love it. So not really anything much.
And where can travelers find you if they want more Beth in their life?
So follow me on Instagram at Beth Curry Wagner, Wagner. My husband says I can't say my last name because I'm in revolt of having to take someone else's name when you get married. So you can find me on Instagram at Beth Curry Wagner. Wagner. Or you can always send me an email on my website, bethcurry.com, because I will respond. I always love having interaction.
Yeah, and Mr. Wagner, it's a privilege to have your name attached to Beth Curry. Excuse me.
That's right. I was like, so if we get married, can you be Paul Curry? Yeah. I mean, he would have probably done it, but we were just old school, I guess.
Just put the hooker boots on first and then ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have like him and her hooker boots.
Yeah.
And travelers, don't worry, you'll be able to find the links to Beth's Instagram and website on our website description and in the episode description here. So if you didn't get a chance to write them down, you're driving your car, whatever it might be, you can find them on our website, talestovat.com, or in the episode description. Beth, thank you again so much for coming on.
Oh my God, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great.
This was great. Yeah, I loved it.